Okay then, so it has been about a week since I have oiled up the cylinders in this 69 Dart with its 273 V8 engine in it. And so today I came home from work and pulled the valve covers off to inspect under them, and if I can get the engine to turn over, then I'll have those off so I can monitor for sticking valves. I'm going to give these things a dosing with blaster on the valve stems to hopefully head that off. But since it has so much varnished gas in it, I just think that's probably going to be a good idea to try to do that. And it doesn't look like anything is wrong with it right now that I can tell. It looks good under the valve covers. It looks nice and clean. And the push rods seem like there's no push rods bent. So I'm going to do that. I'll show you the valve covers. They're crappy on the outside, but they look fine on the inside. I've seen much worse. So I think that 68,000 miles may be legit on this thing, because it's a clean engine. It's going to be a shame if this won't be able to be used. But anyway, I'm going to do that. I may take my whatchamacallit and tap these rocker arms a little bit to see if we got any movement. Anything looks stickish, because I don't want to have to replace any push rods. If I can help it, then I'm going to pull the plugs back out and get some cloth in place, and I'm going to get under there and gently try to rock this thing back and forth and see if it'll do something for us. Sorry for the light. It's just, I have to work when I'm here, you know. But good news is this coming up weekend is going to be daylight savings time again, I guess. So we're going to get an extra hour of daylight. And we had another one of these. I always give these little random weather updates here, but I've mentioned in the past how erratic the weather is here in this part of the country. And it holds true, because we had a couple days of warm weather, and then we had horrendous storms, and then it just abruptly dropped. I think it was like 18 last night. So it's about 38 or 39 now. It's going to go back to 19 tonight. So I lived here all my life, and it's just the way it is. That the weather is, you know, anything that you can have happen weather-wise is going to happen here. Hurricanes, tornadoes, cold weather, hot weather, humid weather, dry weather, wind, no wind. You know, so wind's not blowing at all today. Otherwise, it'd be blowing 20 miles an hour out here. The only thing we don't have is dust storms, but that could happen. So anyway, enough of the jibber jabber. We're going to proceed. All right then, so I got my bar under here, my breaker bar and my socket and everything set up to go on the crank bolt. I'm not going to wail on this thing too much, not on the crank bolt, but we'll give this thing a shot. I got you focused on the fan there, so if it moves, then hopefully you and I both will be the first ones to see it. So I looked in the cylinders, and looks like we still got a lot of liquid in there, so it doesn't look like much is drained down. I was hoping it would, but really, if it's a tight engine, it shouldn't. But anyway, enough of that. Let's just get under here, and I don't have much room, so I don't know how much I can move this thing if it moves. All right, anyway. I saw movement. Oh, don't tease me like this. It's a pain getting this thing on the get on there, you asshole. This thing is, I've got a wobbly extension here, so it's kind of a... Alright, hang on. Bear with me. Oh, I saw movement. Oh, I hope that was legit. Oh, Hang on, I'll be right back. All right, I brought my ratchet this time because that other thing's just too hard to. Kind of tight right there. Okay, it moves. So I'm going to call that it's not stuck tight. It's not a wind yet because I ain't got a whole rotation out of it, but what the deal is with it is why I'm having so much issues just go ahead and turning it. I know you guys are saying, well, go ahead and turn it. Well, it's not that easy because I'm having to try to stick this thing up in here and turn it right there on the crank bolt, and I got a transmission line here I don't want to wipe out, and then I got this thing back behind it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this. I can't believe this core support's not wiped out. They usually are, but I'm going to see if I can loosen this thing up and swing it out of the way. It's already loose. Maybe. Now I know why the bottom of the damn fan shroud's broke. So either way, I'm gonna get this thing out of the way so I can inject the car up a little bit so I can get a better swing on this. Woohoo! All right, I'll come back with a little bit more of an update here shortly. Well, as the sun sinks slowly in the west and the temperature plummets, and I'm starting to get pretty cold, we'll wrap it up on this work session with the dart. So I prescribed another infusion of magic potion for it, so I did that and soaked all the valves and everything with horse pee in a can, so that should help. And I went through with my mallet and everything and my rod and checked yeah, my extension there, whatever, I'm not gonna quit saying that, but went through and checked all the valves, and these all felt good over here. They were moving. I had a couple over here that didn't feel, they felt stuck, but tapped them a few times and they freed up. So we're gonna watch that. I still haven't got a full rotation out of it. It's got a hard spot in it somewhere, so evidently one or more of the cylinders got a little rust spot in them, but we're gonna keep working this. It's not anything that we're on a timetable to do. We're just picking away at this thing, because you got to be cautious with that when you're trying to get cylinders to clear up enough to, you know, let the pistons move up and down, because you don't want to take your rings out. So you don't want to be under there yanking on it. So we're just going to keep letting it soak a while longer, and we're going to just come out here and exercise it some and work it. And I predict here in another week or two we should have this thing spinning. So the story has told itself. That the bottom of that fan shroud, that's too bad. That's kind of an expensive fan shroud, but somebody's broke the bottom out of it. That's what a redneck does. they're not going to dare take the fan shroud off to get clearance to do what they got to do. They're just going to break a piece out of it. That's what they do. That's how they work. But either way, somebody's been in there before. That brace that I told you about that's under there, that thing was loose. It was loose. The bolts were loose on it. So somebody's already tried under here before me. This story is telling itself. You know, this horse about it ran 6 months ago or whatever, a year ago or whatever. I drove it up and down the road just to check the transmission. There's nobody on the face of this planet believes that anymore. We know better. So either way, that is what it is. People tell what they got to tell, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this, and one way or another, I'm going to use all my powers of recuperation on this thing, and I'm going to get it running one way or another. It may not run very well, but it's going to run. It's going to do something one way or another. So, like the president says, hold the date. Thanks for watching, guys. Can you tell what the next video is going to be about?